I am here interviewing Alanah, who is an AMD foot detox practitioner based in Wellington, and I'm interviewing her about her experience with the Parasite program. Thanks for letting me interview you, Alanah.
You're welcome, Charlie.
And Alanah, tell me, what first got you interested in parasites or in my parasite world, or why did you think you even needed to do a parasite program?
I'm just laughing because it's your parasite world, isn't it? So I'd been a client of yours for a while, and had seen a bit about parasites. I had kind of accepted that they existed and that I probably had them. I'd grown up on a farm, and I really love pork and seafood, especially raw seafood. So I was like, oh yeah, they're probably there, but I was kind of like if they're not a problem, it's not a problem.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Mentality.
And
Yeah,
when you say, so you had awareness then before,
yeah,
and so when you say if they're not a problem, they're not a problem, what sort of problems? Because I think a lot of people are in your camp, right? But
yeah.
what are you considering is a parasite problem? Like, what did you associate were the symptoms of parasites for them to be a problem?
Yeah, I think I associated it with like actually being ill from the parasites. I didn't kind of account for the load that you carry every day and the impact that that has on your health. Or yeah, the flow on effects. But I was just like, oh no, like I'm not sick. At the
And when
time
you
because
say sick, would you
yeah,
be thinking like diarrhea, vomiting bugs? Like, is that what
yeah.
you would have thought previously?
I think, and also because I'd worked so hard on my health, so I'd previously been really, really ill, had worked really hard with you, and kind of got myself to a point where I was like, I'm so much better than what I was. Like, it must not be the load that's like, I must not have a parasite load that's holding me back because I was able to achieve what I viewed as wellness.
That is so true,
Um,
Alanah. And from where you first came to see me of how unwell you were to where you were, I can totally see that. And I bet you lots of people can resonate with that too, because it's like, but I'm feeling better than what I was.
yeah.
And then we don't go, oh, but could I feel better? Or what would life look like and my health look like if I did do a program?
Yeah. And I think when you're so used to being at, say, 20%, you get to 50% and it's amazing. And you're like, whoa. Yeah, and it was just like simple stuff like I had an ensuite bathroom because I had to use the bathroom so much that I didn't want to have to like impact my flatmates. And so I wasn't great with reflection, but I went on a big Europe trip. I had booked in, I knew as part of the Europe trip, I was kind of sacrificing my health because we're all or nothing people. And I took my beta TCP with me. Um, but I, yeah, was like, okay, when I come back, I'm going to finally do Shelley's 21 day as it was reset then. So I was like, okay, like I know that when I get back, there's going to be some work done on my health because I'm not following kind of my new lifestyle while I'm overseas. And we'll figure that when we come back. But I went through Dubai and stayed at a really fancy hotel. It was 5 stars, a Marriott hotel. And that was fine. I had bottles of water, and I was like, perfect. You don't drink the water, but I didn't think about brushing my teeth.
Oh, it was the
And
teeth.
yes, and I brushed my teeth, and I just used the tap water without even,
Oh.
honestly, didn't even think about it. And when I got home, I was so ill because it's a big flight home. And then I was,
Alana, were you sick on the flight home as well? Because it is a big flight home. Or was it you
yeah,
were lucky and it was when you landed?
it was when I landed. Like I just thought I
Oh,
was like horrifically jet lagged, but I actually set up my trip. I'd left Greece at like 8, got to and gone to Dubai and done it overnight in Dubai. So I got that sleep because I'd basically trained not to be um, jet lagged on the way home. Like I planned it all out that it wasn't going to affect my sleep schedule too much. And yeah, I just felt so drained for a long time after I got home. Like I was sick the day I got home. I was meant to kind of be working the next day remotely, and then yeah, couldn't. And then just like kind of never recovered. Like I thought it was maybe bad jet lag, but it's sprawled out over a couple of weeks. Um, and then I did the 21 day, so I was all right then. And I was like, oh, okay, the 21 day will like whack this on its head and a detox will do me. And I felt great on the 21 day, but then after I just never I hadn't I didn't get back to where I wanted to be, and was like, what is going on? Like, even kind of, yeah, like chronic fatigue, like fatigue kicked in. My stomach was upset really easily. It just started to feel like I was going back to where I used to be
Oh, no, that's
years ago. And I was like,
awful.
what has happened? And then, yeah, I eventually kind of clicked that I brought home a little visitor from Dubai just from the water.
And a
And
lot
I just, yeah,
people
never
would
thought.
like we often think it's third world countries while we're eating street food. But
Mm,
yours is such a classic example with so many clients where it is the toothpaste, like it is the brushing of the teeth. Sounds so silly, but I know we just don't connect the dots. Like we'll be like, we're gonna go and buy our water, we're gonna like do all these things. And then it's brushing our teeth. And in a place like Dubai in a five-star hotel, we don't expect to get parasites there. But the
yeah.
reality is, as you know from doing the programs, they are everywhere. And you're just, in some ways, you're kind of lucky that you got the bad exposure because then it really did motivate you, right? Like it changed how you were thinking about your health again and really pushed you into like, I need to up level my health.
Yes. For sure. I actually didn't go into the program first. I went gently, gently. So I negotiated. I started with a self-guided one and did supplements because I actually don't love um, 10-day programs with a whole lot of people. Like I get into it and I do, but they do, I find them a bit overwhelming.
And I remember you saying that
And yeah, the thought of it,
because you
especially
wanted
after
to do
doing,
it yourself because you didn't want
yeah.
all the beeping of the tele, which is the like, because I actually remember those emails coming through Alana because I remember then when you asked to do the 10-day program and I was like, does she realize that there'll be messages coming through during the day? Like that
I
was my
would,
exact response
yeah.
when your message came through the office inbox, and I was like, she wants to join the program, but there'll be Telegram. But also, though, Alana, what is your thoughts? Because I definitely know that was the part you didn't want. I do know
Mm.
with the beeping, but do you think it is overwhelming beeping all throughout the day, like nonstop all the time? Like the latest one you just did, is it unmanageable?
No, I quickly learned to turn off the notifications because that creates a stress response for me because I just see a notification. I'm like, oh, I need to reply. Or even if I don't open it, like I absorb the information and then create the loop in my brain. So for me, it was turn off the notifications and just catch up where I needed to. And I just kind of learned to digest the information that I needed. I really liked the last group because it was a smaller group. Um,
Also, Alana, what I've learned too is that like I keep official office hours in the morning and the afternoons. So, and that is in the portal, so everyone knows in the program. So there will be more beeping during those hour, like during that hour. So it's like turn off the notifications, so that it is very clear for everyone as well, so that it's not annoying. And then I obviously jump in, as you know, throughout the day to answer questions so nobody's left with awful symptoms. But I also do love how, like you've said, you can digest the information when it suits you. Take the stories, take the knowledge, take all the learnings. Because, you know, we were just talking before we started recording how you're like, oh, can I be a part of that next 10-day program? Because I don't even want to take the pills, but can I learn from it? Because,
yeah.
like, and you've done enough programs with me as well to know that, like, every round of a program, depending on the people in the group, draws out different knowledge and different information from me. So you learn different clinical pearls and like things for you with your clients with the IMD, but also for you with like it's like, oh, that's me too. Like that's the part I love about the group is you can self-identify with other people in the group and be like, oh, that's me. I didn't even think about that, but that's me.
Yeah. And I think, like, yes, there's a lot of people and there are a lot of stories, but you can also, and you do learn a bit. But if you don't have the time for that, you can sort of go in, pop your results in for the day, get your recommendation, and know that I'm still supported along it. I can absorb this information if I want,
Yeah. And
but I
like
can
that's
also
what
do the
I love.
critical.
That's what I love too, where like, and I know that I always think to myself, if I was a member, what would be my strategy? And I'd literally just jump in, do the daily protocol, get the help from me, get my personal questions answered, and then log out. Because you
Yeah.
can also like, there's always, I always think as the practitioner watching on, but you would have practitioner eyes too. There's two groups of people: the people that love being in the group, listening, reading, doing all the things, which I love, and then there's the other type of person that just jumps in, gets what they need, the information, and leave. Like, but that's what I love about it is you get all of it.
Yeah. And I find where I am in my life stage or like schedule or like what my day job is and what my clinic's demanding of me, I can be both. So
Yeah.
I find like sometimes I'm a lot more chatty and I'm into it and I really love that peer support. And then sometimes I'm just like, look, I just hear the practitioner advice and I don't want to absorb the other things. So I really like that I can kind of cater it and use it to how I need on the day.
And also, Alana, has it helped you even listening to other clients' stories in the group as a practitioner as well? When your clients come in, if people ask you about different situations, you've been able to, like, you've got more knowledge and more understanding as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of, so I started posting all my stories about doing the parasite cleanse because a lot of my clients, I've yet to see a client without a parasite load. And a lot of my clients are always a bit curious about it. And then parasite's a real scary word, right? And so it's the like, oh, where did it come from? Well, where didn't it come from? It's just parasites everywhere. I don't think you could ever avoid them. But it's also equips me with knowledge along the way to kind of help reassure clients. I see a lot of clients kind of, yeah, looking at options that potentially might not be the most effective way of doing it. So I like absorbing that information, but also a lot of my clients will ask about like how I'm going on my 10 days. That's why I'm always kind of upfront about it. I also potentially sometimes have like some slight symptoms, and I like to let them know as well
I was gonna
in
ask you
advance.
that because I know your last round of symptoms, which I'm gonna ask you in 1 second. But what has surprised you, Alana, on the programs? What's the most surprising symptom that you've had, or where you've been like, "Wow, I didn't imagine this."
Um, oh, it's honestly just that they exit at all stations, is what I've said to you. Like, they just come out everywhere. Because I was like, okay, like, obviously you learn to, um, yeah, go hunting for them.
Yes, as I like
Um,
to call it, the parasite
and
hunts on.
yeah, you go parasite hands on, and that's as one avenue. But then you kind of, yeah, like I got these little like white things on my skin, and they're coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh! And then all of a sudden, I had all these like whiteheads on my nose, and then I find like sometimes you end up with a bit more eye gunk. They just really, you just feel riddled.
And
And I
Alana,
just
do you
honestly
know,
think that.
I reckon that's one of the beautiful things of the group is that I think if you're doing it on your own and you're expecting just to see parasites in the toilet, it would be very overwhelming when they start like coming out your skin or your fingernails or your feet or in the foot detox or your eyes or your nose or your mouth. Like there's just so many ways and your hair, like so many ways they come out. So when
Mm,
you see other people going through it, it does make it like you're less alone or you're not imagining it. Like it opens up your awareness a lot more.
for sure. And I think, yeah, and because I don't know. I know a lot of people buddy up with a friend to do it. I've never done it. I've had family members do it at the same time, but the family members live quite far. I moved out of my hometown. So I've kind of never had someone to do it side by side with, but I've never felt left out because of it. I totally see why people do it with their friend, and that's great. That's ideal. But you've got a community in there, and you almost kind of like, oh, look at my weird symptom. Who else got a weird symptom today? And it just becomes yeah, a bit more of a positive thing. Whereas if I went running to my partner, it was like, babe, look. Uh, yeah, this is not a conversation we can have in our body.
I agree. And Alana, tell me, is it just taking herbs? Or tell me, I'm asking you though, is it just taking herbs or are there other components to the program as well?
Yeah, other components. There is herbs, and some days there's a lot more herbs than others. But I also just like that there's other ways of getting the supplements into you. So like Para 3 is a liquid and I really fully embrace it. I can just pop that on my skin instead of having to swallow it because I've gotten used to it now, but it's not the best tasting thing. And I also it's just the most soothing chest rub ever.
I agree.
Um,
It's the best.
delicious. Yeah, but also just the other little ways of things to kind of push them out. The hair mask is always a fave. And then the viral rinse, I mean, I still hate the nasal rinses, but they're satisfying. They get a lot out of your nasal cavities. What is it called?
Nostrils.
Cavities. Anyway,
Yeah,
nostrils,
yeah. I was
nasal
like,
rinses.
nostrils, does it have? But I know what you, the nasal rinses, I love the nasal rinses too. I think they're so beautiful. You know, in the winter, I was just thinking in your clinic just there, you could put paraben
Mm.
into your diffuser.
Ooh,
I just thought of that just then as we were talking because I know that I talk about putting it into the diffuser, but I was like, oh, Alana,
yeah.
you should definitely do that in the winter for your clients as well. That's a
Yeah.
really good one. Alana, what have you noticed with having a foot detox and doing the Parasite program, but also with your clients? Because some of your clients do the Parasite program and do your foot detoxes. So, what have you seen with them, or what have they noticed with benefits, and what have you noticed yourself?
So for me myself, I was obviously able to do them a bit more than my clients. So I prioritized more because I did just find that the parasite load coming out was huge. Like it's another avenue, right? The exiting at all stations, and just drawing them out. And I noticed that with my clients as well. I noticed that you could see them in the water.
Yeah.
And I've got one client who even like you can see it on her feet. Like she'll put her feet in and then come out and there's like a white pimple because there's still parasites coming out. So you do notice them exiting. And I find the foot detox is a way, gentler way to get them out. Like just because you think about how on earth was that load going to come out of your body without that? Like you were either going to cough it up or it's going to come out via skin. Um, and like through quite a few pimples. So I think, yeah, I've just really noticed that the foot detox really helps draw it out. It's another station to exit it.
Absolutely, it is. And the other thing, Alana, two things with the foot detox is it obviously gets everyone parasympathetic. So,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what's happening in their daily life or the load of parasites or whatever it may be, the positive and negative positive and negative polarity of the foot detox is designed to get your nervous system parasympathetic. And when
Mm-hmm.
we're parasympathetic is when we do our best detoxing. So, and also your feet are the largest place to detox, and then the heat with the opens your pores. So people can just dump in 30 minutes. If you're on a parasite program, you're dumping a lot of like I always say to people, do as many of them during the 10 days as you possibly can, depending on what your clinic's availability is. But and Alana, do people comment like that they feel more energy, they feel lighter, their lymph? Do you notice, will the clients talk to you about like their measurements changing during the program?
All my clients have seen measurement changes. Most have seen, honestly, it's all like inflammation around our like faces. It's happened to mine too. There's been a lot of inflammation gone down. There's certain kind of points, which was usually like the problem point during the program. So, for example, me, I lost my voice, had a lot of mucus coming up, but I've lost heaps of inflammation in here. So that's where they kind of were all hiding. So they've all kind of got different places where they were hiding that they kind of knew. So we talked about that. But yeah, they always just felt like they've got a bit of a load off every time with the foot bath. What I noticed is having done them pre becoming a practitioner and having a foot bath available to me versus after is I feel like I don't get um, my symptoms as severely.
I agree with you. I definitely, as your practitioner, I'll tell you and everyone else. What I've noticed is that we can go, I say harder, but like we can push more parasites out because your body responds so well to the liver benefits and the detox benefits of the foot detox. So it means when I say harder, I don't mean it like we're going gently because we're going to the speed of your body, but we can be more dramatic with how we're pushing them out because your body's so well supported by the foot detox. And the other thing I've noticed with you, Alana, as well, is that your nervous system stayed much more regulated over the programs. And that's not because I think you're a stress head before like, that's not the truth. You're still very busy and your work's full on and you've probably got more going on in your life now than previous programs. but your nervous system has definitely not blown out at all. Like you've stayed in that predominantly parasympathetic or green testing as we do because of the foot detox. Like that has been such an amazing tool for you to get rid of more without awful symptoms. Although, it's debatable whether like your last round we had awful symptoms in terms of you lost your voice like that, like your poor
Yeah.
croaky voice. I felt very sorry for you having to see clients and then probably looking at you being like, are you sick? And you're like, no, I'm just parasite cleansing. So Alanah, for you though, because you did get it through your throat and respiratory system, did you feel so unwell you couldn't work, or was it just annoying? Because it is annoying.
It was annoying. I mean, my work takes a very cautious approach to sounding sick.
Oh yeah, of
So,
course.
like for me, I did work from home some days to make others comfortable.
Good.
Um, but it wasn't that I couldn't work. Like,
Yes, you still
uh,
had the energy. Like, did you have
yeah,
energy? Unlike when you're proper sick, you don't have the energy. Did you find
yeah,
it? Okay, good.
correct. Like at no point did I feel like I was sick, but I definitely sounded it.
You did, well, yes. And then Alana, tell me, do you notice during the Parasite program that you see more heavy metals, like the heavy metal flecks, come out in your foot detox?
Yeah, for sure. I also find like I've got a few clients who had some left over. So what they have done is strategically done it so that they take the extra supplements before they come in, because we know it pushes more out.
Yeah. And Alana, do you know that there's a connection between parasites and heavy metals?
I'm sure there is, but I don't know
There
what the
is.
connection is.
That's why I was
Yeah.
telling you. I was like, oh, I'll tell you this and all your clients at the same time. So if you've got a huge parasite load, you'll always have a huge heavy metal load. They go hand in hand. They like almost wrap around each other.
Why?
So that's why, well, the parasites, believe it or not, are protecting the heavy metals from getting into your brain.
Huh.
Yeah. So the parasites are actually protective, and anyone that's in a industry that's very dominant in terms of their exposure with heavy metals, or maybe they've had mercury poisoning, getting rid of filling, or those are the types of people that I've seen over the years. They will attract a huge amount of parasites to wrap around that mercury in the body to stop it going to the brain and like completely kibbutzing their brain. That's not a medical word, kibbutzing, but like blitzing, like so it's a protective mechanism. Our bodies are so clever, we actually use parasites at times to protect ourselves. So that's why I always like to give you some clinical pills at the same time. Anyone over a parasite program you'll always see heavy metals in their foot detox.
Yeah, and both my clients have done parasite programs in today, and we saw heavy metals in both of them.
Yeah.
So
And so then once I've done the parasites, if you've got heavy metals, it's a good time to do it because your body's going to release more of them and vice versa. What I also see is sometimes with some clients, we have to help with the heavy metals and then they'll start to see the parasites as well.
do you find so now that so I've got a few clients and myself who've done quite a few parasite protocols now. Do we then need to kind of ASAP hustle on the heavy metals?
ASAP hustle in the heavy metals, like do it next month. No, I'm just
Yeah. Just checking. I'm like,
when can I
wait,
sell you?
are they going to
No.
make me wait in my brain?
I'm just so you definitely want to. So say by doing the Paris, what I'm making these numbers up to tell you in a good analogy for everyone else. Say with you, Alana, you've gotten rid of 90% of your parasites. You won't get rid of the final 10%. All these numbers are made up until you've done the heavy metal component. Because you know that you've got heavy metals, A, because you've learnt with me, but B, you're seeing it in your foot detox. So whenever you're seeing it in somebody's foot detox, you can already in your mind be going, okay, they're only going to get rid of like majority, but they'll never get rid of them finally. So, and you've heard me say this before, we're like dibbling in this and then going over here to a different protocol and then going over here. And then we wrap it up with a nice little ribbon and I hand you your complete health and be like, now you're in perfect health. Off you go. You're in maintenance mode. So you do have to dabble, dabble, dabble. And majority of the work's done with the parasites, well, not for everyone, but say for you, I'll talk back to you, Alanah, specifically. Majority of yours was getting rid of the parasites, and then you could get rid of the heavy metals, and then you can bounce back to the parasites and wrap it up. But I knew you had much more of a parasite load than a heavy metal load. So it's always focusing on which one it is the priority, and then focusing on that one. But there's always that piece with parasites and heavy metals.
Interesting. Good to know because I always knew that parasites can eat iron and that can be a cause of iron depletion.
Yeah,
As someone who's on iron supplements.
yeah.
So yeah, I thought maybe parasites eat the heavy metals.
Yes, so they can, well, sort of.
If they could get rid of them, that'd be nice. But
Yeah.
that's
I was like,
far too,
yeah,
far
I
too
was like
light.
sort of, but they do protect your body. If somebody hasn't been doing like all the liver support and the body sees it's unsafe to detoxify, well, that's why like whether it's heavy metals or whatever it is, and that's why the foot detox is so powerful because it's supporting the liver and the detoxification pathways. Because while people get very frustrated when we're holding on to weight, this is a deviation and we are coming back and then we'll wrap it up, I promise. Often we hold on to weight to protect our brain from something more toxic. And so, in the places, say, for example, clients will say, they hold it on under their arms. So, they might be holding on to like mercury and aluminium and lead and all of this toxicity in their arms, holding on to this weight, opposed to it going to their brain and giving them dementia or Alzheimer's. So, it's like an actual brain loss condition. And so, as part, our bodies won't release these things until the detox pathways are open. So until somebody does a whole bunch of liver work or foot detoxes with you, then they'll be able to release the heavy metals here. Then they'll lose the weight. So a lot of clients come to me upset that they can't lose weight, but it's actually their body protecting them because their liver and the drainage pathways aren't safe for the body to release it.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I've done a lot of work with you this year, and in your 12-month program, and then this year, this parasite program was also the most I've lost centimeter wise.
I
So
know, Alanah, and doesn't that make sense for you? Because now you've done all that liver work, so your body's safe you're safe because your body's able to eliminate it, whether it's through the foot detox, through your poos, through your sweat with all your sauning that you do, the red light that you've got going on there at the moment. Like all of the tools that you've learned from me and already knew as well, they've all come together now. So your body is able, and so that's why quite often in a parasite program, the people that have done more of them, they've also done more liver work. So then
yeah,
they start to see quite a few like actual kilos of weight, not just centimeters being lost.
interesting. Yeah, I've definitely noticed that I felt like the first couple of months was the hardest because it just felt like nothing was happening. And then now it's like, oh,
Yeah,
these
and,
grapes
and
don't fit anymore.
you've hit the nail on the head where, and I say this to clients all the time, and I can see why people get frustrated and upset and don't think that natural health is working for them and give up because it is quite a lot of like nothing, nothing, nothing. And then all of a sudden it comes to get all that hard work, like what you did, the liver support, like all of the things you've been doing come together and you get these amazing overnight on purpose results. And it's like, oh, all of those months where I saw nothing, now I'm seeing all the rewards.
Makes sense.
I know. So, Alanah, what would you tell one of your AMD clients or one of your friends around why they should do it?
Well, I believe everyone should do a parasite cleanse. I think for me, there's no way no one doesn't have them. Like I said, I'm yet to see a foot bath without them. I'm always kind of happy to like be like, oh, maybe you don't. And if there's a foot bath without them, great, don't do it. Like there's ways to test that you have them. But unless you've actually worked to get rid of them, I don't think there's much case for you not having them. So for me, I think it's an investment into your health. Um, so I would tell everyone to do it just because it is probably the thing that is holding you back from all your other health outcomes. So it's saving you money because it's making everything else work.
I totally agree. And also, just for anyone that's still listening to your Dubai story, linking back there with, so we've got it complete. You have exhausted, but have I got you back to energy from doing? Because obviously you did the 21-day program, still tired, still had the parasites. Has your energy come back post these parasite programs? We've obviously talked about the other health benefits, but if somebody's following your story that you've linked into this, do you have better energy now, Alanah, again?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I used to like quite commonly, I could, if I had no alarm, I would probably sleep till like 12. And now that just doesn't happen. I don't really do sleep-ins 'cause I don't need them. Unless every now and then, but it's usually just because I can't be bothered going downstairs yet. And it's because I don't want to.
Which
But
is
it's not that
such
like
a
I need
nice
it.
feeling.
I know.
It's
I'm like,
like,
oh,
it's so nice having like an afternoon nap on the weekend because you want it,
yeah,
opposed to needing it to try and get yourself ready for the work week.
yes. Yeah, and I work 6 days a week now. So, and then you could argue my Sunday's not much of a rest day because it's like, well, now I have to do all the house stuff.
Alana,
Um,
you just saying that
yeah,
though, that's huge compared to where
yeah,
you came from. Like the fact that you work a busy job Monday to Friday, you do your foot detox business on, or detox well, sorry, not just your foot detox business, but detox well on a Saturday. And then Sunday, you've got to get ready for the week and do all the like home things and then
yeah,
start again on a Monday.
yeah, yeah. And I could do it. And I'm not like, I think if I had even attempted to do this 2 years ago, I would have burnt out and been in a sorry state
I
probably 2 weeks in.
I definitely agree with you, Alana. And the honest truth is, as a clinician, but you being my client and caring, I would never have let you do the AMD foot detox. I would have been like, I'm not certifying you because you're a health risk in terms of I'm worried about you harming your own health. Rather now I'm like, I'm loading Alana up. Like she's getting DMs from me and I'm being like, what about this idea? And what about this? And you need like, because you've got the energy and I know that you can because you're looking after your health and you're feeling so good. So credit to you, Alana, for all the hard work that you're doing for yourself and for your clients because you're learning so much. And if you're working with Alana, you're really working with me as well. You get those benefits. And then this interview is obviously for my clients, but it's for Alana's clients too, so that you learn more. And if I can really encourage you to do at least one Parasite program, I really would because it will always enhance everything you're doing with Alana as well. And you'll understand the foot detox and the power of it and how magical and amazing it is even more. So I really encourage everybody to do the Parasite program, but also do your foot detoxes with Alana at the same time. Thank you, Alana.
Thank you, Shelley.